could they be talking about? The Last Jedi? Is it Luke? Is it Rey? They can't do this to me.
Alright, relax. We're gonna cover all things The Last Jedi on this episode of Next Stop, Main Street.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Next Stop, Main Street. I'm Marlena.
I'm Lenny.
And I'm Angela. If you're a Disney fanatic, then this is the show for you.
Wait a second, I'm going for 1 week and you're stealing my lines?
Alright, sleepy, snooze you lose.
Hey, it's a Disney show for Disney lovers from Disney fans. So this episode, we have a lot to talk about. We have our new segment, We're All Ears, where we'll talk about a couple of new things hopping around the Disney boards. Lenny's going to talk about his trip he just took, if you remember him calling in last week. Angela has some news on Magic Bands, if you haven't been yet. Recently, they have a new upgrade on Magic Bands. And then, of course, we're just going to have Disney talk all Disney long. All right, so let's get to it. This is We're All Ears. All right, guys, let's talk about the biggest Disney news that just happened in all of Disney Universe.
The Mulan update on Magic Kingdoms.
Oh.
Close. And Brian would love that, but that's not the answer. All right, Lenny, what do you think this news is that I'm talking about?
The title of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Oh, it's so vague. I hate it.
So here's my question, and I posed this on Facebook to some of my friends. Jedi is plural and singular.
It is.
Yes.
I have a list, by the way, before we get into that, of some of the rumored titles they were choosing or thinking about choosing before they picked The Last Jedi. It was going to be Table of the Jedi Temple. Another one was The Order of the Dark Side. So those are some of the rumored titles floating around before they picked The Last Jedi. So put that in context with some of your ideas that you might have.
All right.
See, I want to hear your two opinions, and I'm going to throw my opinion out later. As you see, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, and
Yeah.
I want to tell you some in-depth detail that I've noticed. What do you think that title means?
I mean, for anyone who's seen The Force Awakens, we know that Luke is still alive and he is a Jedi, but we also know that Rey has Force powers, so, what are we supposed to do? I'm so confused.
Well, that's why I'm thinking, could it represent plural? Could it now mean sort of a Yoda-Luke thing, where Luke's now going to train Rey, get her powers to sort of get strong, even though, the last movie they were stronger than you would think they should be. So Jedi to me is plural, and it's clear that Kylo Ren is some sort of Jedi, or at least has the Force, even if it's the dark side. So does that technically make him a Jedi too? Because he wasn't training.
The one thing that when I saw the title, I instantly thought, okay, the title's in red lettering. There's only one other movie that was in red lettering. It was Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh, that's a great point.
That's a good point.
Uh-huh.
Point number 2 was, if you read the crawl to Force Awakens, it's stated 2 or 3 times in there that they are searching for the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker. And, the Rebellion's looking for him, and the First Order's looking for him. And both times, in both paragraphs, the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker. The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker. So, it's speculation, rumor, internet rumors is Luke perishes in this movie, and then Rey becomes the Last Jedi. Who knows? I've also heard that Mark Hamill's already signed a contract for Episode 9. I can't wait. We have 11 months to go. I'm excited. I got goosebumps in my arms.
I know. And, if you don't know the release date, right now the official release date is December 15th, 2017. So you don't have to wait too long. Practically a whole year, but not too long.
Yep.
You still have Rogue One energy coming off of you. So if you need your Star Wars kick. So another piece of news hopping around the Disney forums is that a new incredible dining experience has just opened up at Disneyland.
Yes.
Would you guys want to eat where Walt Disney would have ate?
Yeah.
How much is it?
Well, in Disneyland, in New Orleans Square, they have made Walt Disney's sort of living quarters that he was going to have fitted for him and his wife into this beautiful dining experience called
21 Royal.
21 Royal. There you go, Angela. And so you basically get this fabulous meal where he would have sat and ate. Incredible. Check out their website. 21 Royal, again, is the name. If you want to see pictures, it's incredible. They do by groups of 12. So let's say for a group of 12, how much would you put a price tag for dinner, park tickets, valet, taxes, fees, whatever, and of course the experience.
That was gonna be my question. What's included in that price?
And you're in this exclusive restaurant that Walt Disney would have, where he would have lived, where he would have ate dinner.
And you know the food is probably top notch.
Top notch. Yeah.
Untouchable.
I don't know.
12 people. Let's say $200 a person. $2,400, Marlena.
$2,400 total.
$200 a person. That includes your park ticket.
Park ticket. One park ticket. One
park ticket.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna go way high. I'm gonna go. Oh, let's go $6,000.
$6,000 and
$2,400. $200 a person.
Okay, so prepare to be shocked. For dinner for 12 people at 21 Royal, which is now open for reservations, check out their website. If you're a huge Disney fan and have that money, it is about $15,000.
What?
$15,000. Nope, that's the total price. Again, I guess if you want to break it down, make it easier for you, it is for 12 people. That includes, I'll go over it here, admission to the park, valet parking, tax gratuity, and obviously an unforgettable dining experience in a part of Disneyland that really very few people have ever seen.
So so if each person pays an exact equal amount, everyone's gonna go like $1,400.
$1,250.
Yeah, $1,250.
$1,250.
Yeah. So hey, if you got the money, why not experience it?
Once in a lifetime experience.
Once in a lifetime. All right. Well, that's all we have for We're All Ears. So while Angela and I were here last week in the rain, in the cold, not having fun, our co-host Lenny here was in the most magical place on earth, having a blast at Disney World. Welcome back, Lenny.
Hello.
Hey, glad to be back.
So you did call in last week, and we got to hear a lot about your trip. Your trip, but we figured, you're here now, so we want to kind of delve in a little bit deeper, and I want to ask you your 3 highlights from this trip. You've been a lot, but this trip specifically, your 3 highlights.
All right. I want to make one thing clear before we continue any further. When I called in, that was my Epcot day. So for people out there, if you know what that means, that was a tricky phone call. 3 highlights that I had. I was there for 4 days. And when I called in, I talked about Skipper's Canteen, which was just a great place to dine. The new Soarin' video, Frozen, stuff like that. The weather was spectacular all week long, especially for the middle of January. The amount of traffic that was flowing through through Disney was awesome. Every ride was 10 to 20 minutes. We were right in, right out.
So it was not peak time.
Not peak time at all. That was awesome. That was awesome. I would recommend going, during this time again. And now in January, it's going to be the Festival of the Arts, which Angela wants to go see. So that was included in my Epcot experience. So about 3 highlights: the weather, the lines in the rides, and the food and drinks that we experienced. And those would be my 3 main highlights.
So I want to get into one of those highlights that you caught quickly in one of the rides. Now, I've not been on the new Frozen ride. That's in Norway.
Right.
Why do you think you graded it so high, or why was it a highlight? Like, what about it made you come to that conclusion? The detail.
The ride, has a drop or 2 here and there, and you go backwards, and it might be a little intimidating for, But the detail in the animation, and the animatronics, everything is, just so futuristic and so on point. Yeah. It's almost impossible to explain unless you see it for yourself. Yeah. It's so beautiful. It's worth every second.
Yeah. Awesome. And Skipper Canteen,
delish. Food, great. Service, spectacular. And again, I told you on the phone, they took me around a little bit. I looked around. The decor is crazy.
No, give me sort of the food type. Like, what kind of type of food is it?
So it was an Asian mixture. So for an appetizer, I had their version of a steamed dumpling. Yeah. It came with again a soy sauce with a twist. We also had some pork bruschetta type deal. It was great. It was just a mixture. It was like a twist on food from around the world.
Yeah, and it's just like if you love the Jungle Cruise like I do, it's my favorite ride. It's just like the theming is so great, right? Mm-hmm. It's just it's kind of like based off like Dr. Albert Falls. That's like the creator of the Jungle Cruise, and who Schweitzer Falls is named after, Dr. Albert Falls. It's kind of based around his like living quarters and where the skippers. It's like their mess hall, and it's just like the theming is just so amazing. If you go into like all like the back rooms, I would totally recommend checking it out.
Yeah, the one thing I remember vividly is the server came over and he was like, "Hey, my name is Rob. I used to pilot one of the boats, but I made too many corny jokes, and now I'm in here serving you. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Thanks for getting my day started perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned this when you called in that you had these highlights. There was one thing though that we've been hearing about since you've gotten back, and even on that phone call, that you will never ever forgive.
Ever.
And this has affected your Disney life.
This has affected my personal life, not just Disney life. My life in Rhode Island. This has affected everything.
This is the biggest thing that has ever happened to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's changed him. He's a changed man.
I'm right here.
But this is a negative thing, Angela. You were extremely positive.
Yeah. So let's fill them in if they don't remember. What is this thing that has changed your life forever?
So every time someone asks me, Len, how come you've been to Disney over 20 times? What keeps bringing you back? And one of the focal points I always say is if we go into Mexico in Epcot and you go into the Mayan ruins and you get into the little cantina that's on the right-hand side, not the big restaurant, the little cantina, it's called La Cabra at San Angel. It's the cave, San Angel Cave. They have this margarita. It's a house margarita. It's called the San Angel Margarita. And our producer, Brian, can attest to this because we had a bet one time that we went that he wouldn't get drunk off one margarita. It is a $13 margarita. It's the best margarita I've had in all my travels throughout the world. So we go this year. I asked the bartender, who's been the same bartender probably for all 20 plus visits, hey man, I want the San Angel in margarita. He looks at me and goes, hey, we're not serving that anymore. We have a better version. It's more expensive, but it's better tequila. My heart sank. It almost ruined my day. The margarita was okay. It wasn't the same, and it was more expensive. So
how much more?
$3 more.
Okay.
So now it's $16 instead of $13, in my opinion, for a lesser quality. But what are you gonna do? It's Disney. They gotta make their money
ask him to
somewhere.
make the old one?
I did, and when I text our brother and her uncle, hey, listen, this is what happened in Mexico. He goes, oh, ask him for the old one. I said, I promise you I did, and he wouldn't make it for me. So that was a low light, and I'm gonna continue to not rave about that part for months to come until I go back.
Yeah, some people it's the crowds, some people it's lack of magic, some people it's lack of tequila. And you are now a pass holder. We talked about that last time. You wanted to kind of show the new magic bands because not everybody knows that there are new magic bands and what they look like and what the difference are. So kind of let our Disney lovers know what's the deal with magic bands.
Yeah. So I don't know, when you went, did you use magic bands on your trip?
Yes, I just had a regular.
You had the regular old magic band. You got it at your resort.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this, as most of you hopefully can recognize, this is the Magic Band 1.0. Very rectangular in shape, and I loved it. It was great. Until I met this lovely feller. This is the Magic Band 2.0, and I believe they're so far only being shipped out to pass holders, so I just got mine. This is my name on the inside.
If I can interrupt, they are selling them.
You can buy them in the parks, but they're kind of like specialty designed ones in big cases. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So
they're much more expensive than just decorating your old Magic Band.
Exactly. So so this is the Magic Band 2.0, and something that's a little bit different is that the inside Mickey head is removable, and you can now put it on a lanyard or a keychain. And people are like, oh, it's gonna fall out. Like I don't want to just remove it and pop it back in. No. There's little screws, so you do have to screw it in and out, and you get the screwdriver if you buy the lanyard or keychain kit. But honestly, I think it's more comfortable. This area is thinner, and it feels a little more durable. This feels like a harder material. This was kind of rubbery. Overall, I'm a big fan of the new Magic Bands, and I was skeptical. So I promise, it's thinner.
It looks
and
better.
It's just like the inside's almost softer. So weird, but yeah, great time.
Awesome. All right, well, that's all for this episode of Next Stop Main Street. Thank you so much for tuning in. We definitely want to hear your comments, so comment below, leave questions, things we want to hear about on our next episode. If you have a trip coming up and you want to kind of have a clarification on something, and also we're always looking for people to call in from Disneyland or Disney World, and we can find out about how your trip is going. So you got to make sure you comment below. Yeah. Also, you want to make sure you
hit the subscribe button so you can be up to date on whenever Next Stop Main Street posts. And if you want to get notifications to your phone every single time we update, you gotta hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, and that will turn on your notifications for our channel.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot going on here.
I know.
That's great.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Marlena.
I'm Lenny.
And I'm Angela.
And we'll see you next time, maybe on Main Street.